They called it unsinkable, a triumph of steel, but the ocean doesn't care about titles. Thomas Andrews knew every bolt of the Titanic, but he missed the microscopic man of doom. How exactly it happened? Science and wealth had converged to build the largest moving object on the planet, but beneath the luxury, the ship's very skin held a hidden chemical weakness. The steel was forged in a time before modern quality control, hiding a microscopic flaw. It contained dangerously high levels of sulfur and phosphorus. At room temperature, this chemical mix was perfectly fine, strong even. In 29-degree water, this high-grade steel didn't just bend, it prepared to shatter. But Andrews couldn't have known how the freezing North Atlantic would change the chemistry. The freezing water caused a ductile-to-brittle transition. It turned the ship's skin into glass. Because of the bow's curve, workers couldn't use hydraulic presses. They had to use iron rivets. These rivets were laced with slag, a glass-like impurity that made them snap under pressure. The iceberg didn't slice the ship open. It pushed the plates apart. One by one, the brittle iron heads sheared off. The seams simply unzipped. The ship was divided into 16 compartments. It could stay afloat with 4 flooded, but there was a fatal compromise. The walls didn't reach the ceiling. Water was rushing in at a terrifying rate of 400 tons per minute. 5 compartments were breached, one more than the ship could handle. Down below, the engineering crew fought back. They fired up the massive centrifugal pumps. But these pumps could only move a fraction of the freezing ocean. The pumps were mathematically doomed from the very moment of impact. The engineering wasn't failing, it was just obeying the ruthless laws of physics. As the boat sank, water spilled over the tops of the walls like an ice cube tray. Even the lifeboats were victims of an aesthetic engineering failure. The ship was equipped with advanced Velen davits, designed to handle up to 64 boats. But the owners only installed 20. They didn't want to clutter the first-class view. It was a mathematical shortage that turned an evacuation into a tragedy. The Titanic wasn't destroyed by ice. It was destroyed by the arrogance of its own design. The weight of the water in the bow began to lift the massive stern into the air. The Titanic wasn't designed to be a bridge. The steel was screaming under the pressure. At a 45-degree angle, the unthinkable happened. The unsinkable ship snapped in two. It took only minutes for the two halves to reach their final resting place, 2 miles down. Titanic tragedy rewrote the laws of the sea and the science of steel forever. Curiosity uncovers the truth. Subscribe to dive deeper into the world's greatest mysteries.